My sweet and lovely Pisces, this is your horoscope for September 2024. And September will be one of the important months of 2024 because we have eclipse in September. And also we have two other planets who will set the tone for the upcoming 6 months. So stay with me to know all about what kind of areas of your life will get activated for the next couple of months. Now let's begin from the start. On 3rd of September, we had new moon in your house of partnerships, committed partnerships, in your house of marriage, and in your house of contractual agreements. It's all about 7th house at 11 degrees, meaning those of you who are born around 1st of March were affected the most by this new moon. And new moons are all about new beginnings, new stories, sort of, new person in your life. But this new moon got very harsh angle from Saturn, planet of time, planet of experience, planet of responsibilities and restrictions. That is circulating your sign in your 1st house, my dear Pisces. And oppositions, that aspect that Saturn made against new moon, I usually call them, in astrology, they call them relationship aspects. And it seems like for you here, your relationships are coming forth by this new moon. In the beginning of September, you might have a sort of a disagreement with your sweetheart, with your long-term partner, and even ex-husband and wife. Depends on your situation, right? Or it might be your business partner. If you say, I'm not in love, or I'm happily married and everything is perfect, then it might be about your business partners. And if you're single, like 7th house is all about contractual agreements. If it's related to business and your partner's there, and whatever like agreement that you are trying to forge and sign there, the Saturn warns you about something. Some things might be off and you might not agree on sort of conditions, and there might be sort of a disagreement, an argument here. And it might happen also at your work too, especially for those of you who work in the big corporations and companies, because 7th house, it rules those big companies. And if you work in those special companies, it might be there some sort of drama going on. And Saturn naturally rules your 11th house in your chart. Now, 11th house is all about big events, your friendship, and also your future. And it's an online house. It might be that, let's say, how people see you, like your appearance, your could be also like your reputation, but mostly it's all about how people perceive you, might be at risk here during this new moon. Especially it might be related to your online image, like social media image, what you show there. It might be under risk or under danger around this September, in the beginning of September, because 7th house also rules our enemies, open face-to-face enemies that we know. And there might be sort of a drama going on too. They might get active during this new moon and spill sort of your secrets, could be, to online world, which you won't like. On another note, this new moon's ruler, Mercury, because it's happening in your 7th house, and your 7th house is ruled by Mercury, which is in shadow period, meaning, it came out from its retrograde, meaning moving backwards, and now it's regaining its speed, regaining its power. That's called shadow period. And Mercury will be situated in your 6th house. Will receive harsh beam from Uranus. Uranus is the planet of surprises and shock. Now, Uranus will be situated in your 3rd house, house of communication. And, Uranus will be retrograding already. We will talk about this a bit later. And these two planets' interaction, like, let's say, disagreement between each other, indicates to something about past or someone from your past. It might be, during this new moon, situation might be related, to information or to a person that is coming and stemming from your past stories or your life. And it might be related to your health or to your work, your occupation. It might be shocking revelation, for example, shocking news around your well-being could be for some Pisces, and for others it could be your work situation, about your colleagues, about your manager, or about you, something going on at work. Or it might be the situation of your siblings, if you have them, like brothers and sisters, or relatives, or neighbors, because third house where Uranus is there, it's all about inner circle. The people that we talk, let's say daily, if not daily, but let's say this is our inner circle people. Now, here at this new moon, Neptune and Pluto will try to save the day or a relationship. Depends on your case, my dear Pisces. And your ruler Neptune is the planet of magic. Together, hand in hand with Pluto, will send amazing beam to that Uranus, which, they will try to make effects of Uranus more milder, more softer. So news coming here might not be so as much as shocking, but it might still catch you by surprise. And it more of a could be news that you on some level anticipated, let's say. And they will be the saving grace of this new moon, and they will try to save the relationship. Now, let's talk about Mars, where your efforts are going whole September. For September, we have Mars moving into your 5th house, and this will be the one of the planets that will set the tone for the upcoming half year. For half year topic there, because Mars, it's unusual for Mars to be in one area of your life that long, but because Mars is retrograding this year, it will slip out from your 5th house briefly, to return right after New Year on 6th of January, and to leave finally in April. So until April, it will be energizing your house of joy, this area of your life. Mars retrogrades every 2 years, and it seems like universe is trying to tell you something about this your area of your life, trying to tell you to focus there, to deal with that area for the up until April. And you might be quite busy around that. It might be about your children, if you have them, and even if you don't have them. It might be you will be busy with your children's, let's say, errands, running their errands, and I don't know, it might be you will be busy with their kindergarten or school or whatever is there that relates to your children. Maybe their activities, or maybe it depends, it seems like money involved here too, because Mars naturally rules your 2nd house in your chart. And here, it might be financing your children's education or their activities or whatever is there related to your kids. And a Mars in the 5th house might give you business. If you've been busy trying to open a business, or if you are already a business owner and you're trying to develop it, Mars will give you the energy and motivation to get busy around your business, my dear Pisces. And this will be the period you will open your business, it seems like, for those of you who are new to this area. And those of you who are in the creativity area, like actors, singers, like dancers, and those who work in the creative projects and all the stuff, you might get also quite busy around your project, artistic talents and hobbies. You might get quite a lot of, let's say, invitations also to perform somewhere, or you might be busy developing sort of some project or masterpiece that you will be creating during the next, 6 to 8 months until April. And now 5th house is also house of love and romance. This is the most important, when we fell in love or we feel joy. And flirting house, you will get quite busy around your dating abilities, flirting abilities, and romance will be all around you, my dear Pisces, if you're single especially. And you might meet a new crush, let's say, during this period, starting already from 4th of September, my dear Pisces. Now let's talk about Mercury. Where is your mind in the whole September? Now Mercury will be a very interesting planet in September because it will activate your three areas of your life. Now in the beginning of September, it will be transiting your house of work. You might be busy around your work, like quite a lot of assignments and chats, like a lot of communication going on at work, signing papers going on at work, and commerce and trade. Like maybe you might be selling or making a big sales during Mercury in your sixth house in the beginning of September. Or for some Pisces, it might be totally about health. You know, you might be busy visiting doctors, seeing specialists, you might be busy going to some clinics, to checkups, like normal things. If you got a cold or you caught the cold or something like this, you know, you might be totally, your mind will be swirling around those analyses, those checks, and medical checkups and all the stuff, you know, related to your well-being. Now, it might be also that you will be rehiring, let's say, for work, because sixth house is those people that work for us, like assistants and maybe nannies, for example. You might be busy with that too, if that's your case. Now, when Mercury on 9th of September moves into your seventh house, house of committed relationship, that it actually rules. That's when your whole September will be pinky and rosy, because your mind will be on your steady sweetheart, on your committed partnerships, like in love or in business, depends on your situation. For some Pisces, you know, your love situation will come forth and you will be busy, you know, coloring your whole September, while your mind will be there. Seems like quite a lot of communication, quite a lot of thoughts about your spouse or long-term partner. And those of you who say, you know, it's not about love, then it might be about your business, because seventh house is all about partners that we work with, that we sign contract with, like a contractual agreement with. So it might be those people. You might be quite busy communicating, let's say, with big companies or corporations, or someone who work there, or in your business, for example, or even with your opponents and competitors. Now, by the end of September, Mercury will switch into your third area of your life, which is financial area, eighth house, other people's money. By the end of September, your mind and, you know, your thoughts will totally be busy with your taxes situation. For some of you guys, for some of you, it might be about investment situation. You might be thinking where to invest, or actually investing, you know, by the end of September. And for some of you, you might be busy thinking about inheritance or insurance too, because those things are covered too. Eighth house is all the money that comes from other places, like bank loans. You might be applying for bank loan or getting approved already and actually acquiring the money now by the end of September. Or you might be totally busy with conception journey, because eighth house is a, you know, mystical house. That's why conception is here, because we still don't know anything so much about, you know, how the huge secret of conceiving the baby, let's say. Now, a conception house will be activated by Mercury by the end of September, and some of you might be busy around that journey, you know, and your health journey and healing, because here is the more of a like magical healing, mystical healing. It's a house of all things that we can't explain, and esoterics are here, and psychology also here. And you might simply, for example, some of you guys might be quite a lot of reading on those things, like on those subjects. You might be researching, you might be trying to find the information around those subjects, like getting invested into psychology or astrology or tarot cards, all these things, you know. And some of you, it might be health wise, like you might be busy around your health also, going back and forth, like in the hospital and all the stuff. And if your situation relates to alimony, or if you're a student, it relates to scholarships. Also, end of September, you will get busy applying or receiving, or like all things related to those things, like paperwork mostly. Now, 18th of September, we have full moon lunar eclipse. Eclipses are amazing tools of the universe. They come in and they stir up our life and they change it like we feel before and after kind of thing. And 18th September, this full moon lunar eclipse happens in your sign, in your house, my dear Pisces. This is one of the important eclipses that is upcoming, and I will make whole separate video on this eclipse, so stay tuned where I give more details there. But here I would like to mention that it will happen at 25 degrees, meaning those of you born 15th of March of Pisces season, plus or minus 5 days, almost at the end of the Pisces season, will be affected the most by this eclipse. Eclipse will be speaking to you directly, and this will be the first one of the 3 pairs, of 3 actually eclipses that will be happening in Pisces starting already next year. Now, this eclipse will conjunct Neptune, your ruler, and also ruler of this eclipse. Now, Neptune is the planet of magic. Like you guys, you're so magical, my dear Pisces. But also, Neptune rules illusions, and it's connected to fog. Whatever Neptune touches, it makes it magical, of course, but also it makes it non-understandable. It makes it confusing as a fog, foggy, low visibility. And even without speaking about Neptune, eclipses are the tools that are also, stir up all the dust in the universe, and there is nothing visible. And they give all the details only by the end of eclipse season, which happens after 2 months when eclipse appeared. So allow eclipses 2 months before and 2 months after, like a month. So this is how long eclipses are influential and bringing one by one the news into your life. Some Pisces might have gotten their news already in the end of July. Something which is like life-changing, You will for sure remember this. It's eclipse. Eclipse's job is to, usually it's abrupt, it's shocking, and usually we are hesitant because we are humans, and we are resistant also. But we usually remember the events that eclipses brought into our life forever. As I said, there is an effect there after eclipse that my life before and after sort of thing, Now, some of you got news already in the end of July, some of you by the end of August, and some of you might get now in September, and some of you might get in October, end of October, or end of November. That's how influential the eclipses are. Or eclipses. Now, full moons are all about conclusions. They come and finish something in your life. Usually the story that is already there. Or the person, they eclipse it out because it's a full moon, Someone's living your storyline, their storyline in your life already. Someone played their story there. And not also like serving a purpose anymore, or something, some story, some event, some situation coming to conclusion, logical conclusion, my dear Pisces. Always remember that universe and eclipses, they act in a way that in our favor. In the long run, we will look back and see and know that this was the right things that's gonna happen during these eclipses. So always trust the universe. I know it will be hard because during eclipses, because we are humans, we don't want to let go of things. But full moons, usually we need to let go and empty a space in our life for a better things to come in, for a better energy to come in. Now, this full eclipse will have harsh angle from Jupiter, and Jupiter is itself is the happy lucky planet of the universe. It's our angel, but somehow Jupiter won't like that eclipse, and it will be situated in your 4th house of family. Now, something going on within your family, and because eclipse is happening in your sign. When eclipses fall in our sign, it might relate to any part of our life. Because 1st house is the me house. So it depends what is your situation now in your life. And, during because it's full moon, another function full moon has, they put some light, your attention into some situation or person or an event in your life that needs your reaction, immediate one. But I would suggest you to make decisions only in December. Why? Because during eclipses, decisions made during eclipses are irreversible, my dear Pisces, and usually we regret them. Better, sit back and wait and give yourself as much as possible time so that you have all the details from the eclipse to make the informed decision at the end, so that you will be for sure, like you will know for sure what you're doing. It's never advisable to make important decisions during eclipse season. Now, because Jupiter is situated, and Jupiter is your ancient ruler, my dear Pisces, but modern is your 10th house ruler, house of social status or career. It might be that your, let's say, mother is finishing her career and it's affecting you in some way. Or it might be like, let's say, you are moving out from parents' house, and that's chapter of your life now has to come to an end. And came to an end, and you are like moving to another city. Maybe it's because of studies, or that you got married, let's say, for whatever actually reason. You might be moving out because, fourth house where Jupiter is the people in your family, people count, like how many people in your family composition. Someone is living, seems like, might be moving out, or immigrating somewhere or traveling somewhere. Now they decided to leave somewhere else, for example, or it's you who decided to relocate somewhere, maybe even as far as some other country, some other cities. And you might get a citizenship also around this full moon eclipse because it's happening in your first house. If that was your wish, you might get that desired citizenship or residence permit or visa or passport, whatever related there to immigration. It seems like you will be calling your home country already a different place, sort of. And it's all about your social status too. For some Pisces, it might be related to their mother, as I said, and for some Pisces, it might be related to real estate, like your living circumstances, your house or an apartment where you live. It might come under a change. You might be moving out or selling it, for example, or like changing. Like, let's say you've lived whole life in some apartment that you've been renting or a house that you're renting, and now there is this situation or something happened and you need to move out. And it's a bit of a painful experience because your whole life lived there. This is a one situation, I can give you millions. But the main like concept here, I'm trying to give you as much as like a topic here. It's you and something related to your family or real estate there. It might be like your sister or your sibling getting married and moving out too, or vice versa, like coming, like your family is growing. This could happen too here, like you are becoming a mother. For example, you gave birth around end of September and you became officially mother and your family grew. This is one example, because your social status changed. Now you are parent. And on a more like philosophical way, first house is all about our core, it's our plans, our priorities, what we show to the world is changing here. Seems like you are changing here. This eclipse is diving deep there inside you and changing your priorities. Seems like you're becoming totally different person here. Maybe you're changing your surname or name, how people call you, or your image, or your style, or totally how you think. Your mentality is sort of changing. Completely different person sort of appearing here. Something to hold on during this eclipse will be like karmic planets, sort of giving you strength, giving you material things, and giving, like, they will be providing you material things, sort of power, because karmic planets will form their grand trine. This is the thing that called in astrology, which makes amazing aspect between the planets, and in this case it's a karmic planet. Something important happening here, very life-changing happening here, and they will be in your third house and 11th house, something related to your wish, something related to your bigger community, and maybe even social media, like on internet, especially those of you who are active there. And those planets might be supporting you of that idea, becoming an influencer, for example, even though, let's say, your family might not be supporting. Could be the case, as indicated by Jupiter. Or those planets will be supporting also your future plans of what kind of society you want to be surrounded with, what kind of people you want to be surrounded with, especially your friendships, like your bigger social group, because those karmic planets will be exactly there. Now, more deeper, we will talk about this on a different video, so stay tuned, my dear Pisces. This is especially important eclipse for you guys. Now let's talk about Sun. On 22nd of September, we have Sun moving into your 8th house. Now, Mercury will activate your 8th house by the end of September, and together with Sun. And it seems like your mind and your life totally will be busy around money, around other people money, or finances, sort of, or those mystical parts of your life, like pregnancy, or like magic, like astrology and psychology too. And lastly, I would like to mention Venus. Now, 23rd of September, we have Venus moving into your 9th house. Now, Venus is the planet of love and beauty. Moving into your 9th house, seems like by the end of September, you might take a trip as well. And if you do, you will love where the location, the destination. You will love your experience during this travel. It might happen by the end of September, and you might be in such a luxurious venue too. You will very much enjoy your trip abroad if you will have such plans, and if you will do that by end of September, and I advise you to do that around that time to double your pleasure. Now, this was your horoscope for September. Make sure to check your rising sign and moon sign too, because sometimes they are stronger and they give more clues of what's going on in your life, And stay positive in September, so that September will come out as an amazing month. Love you all. Bye bye.